Welcome back to Manonabeach. I'm here by the remains of the castle above the statue for Highland Mary at Dunoon on the Cal Peninsula in Argyll Bute. And I'm with John, who's the manager of the Castle House Museum just below us. John's going to talk about Dunoon and the work that the museum does. Over to you, John.
Right, thank you. Essentially, Dunoon for most of its life was just a simple Highland village, and the big change came along when the Lord Provost of Glasgow, James Ewing, decided to build a villa for himself at the coast, and he built the Castle House here in 1822, and in modern parlance he was what you would call a trendsetter. What he did, his friends did, and all along the Dunoon's West Bay, his friends, he built a new house for his sister, and other friends built houses for themselves, all Glasgow businessmen, and this extended right along the coast of Dunoon. Now, Dunoon just exploded into life. It didn't grow. It's sort of a big impact because several things came together. We had, if you were to travel to Dunoon before you were at the vagaries of the wind and weather, you could start sailing from Glasgow and never reach your destination. So the advent of steam allowed people to, with confidence, travel down travel down from Glasgow and come to visit Dunoon. Sir Walter Scott and Queen Victoria made Scotland very popular, and also for the first time people in their working lives actually had holidays. So these three things came together and Dunoon just took off, and the amount of housing just built along the whole coast and gradually moved inwards. And today the Castle House recognises this part of Dunoon's development, and we have recorded this with a series of exhibits in the museum, and we provide this for locals and our visitors. Of paramount importance to Dunoon is of course the pier, and we see our wonderful Victorian pier. There was a pre-existing pier on the left hand side from here, which was in fact the original pier in 1835. There were other small stone built piers, but they were blown away in a storm. So a very enterprising, again, a businessman, James Hunter of Hafton, which is an estate 2 miles away, he built a new pier at Hunter's Quay, named after him. It's James Hunter, we have Hunter's Quay. He was such a good businessman, he realised that because of Dunoon's development, what it needed was a better pier, and in 1896 he created the wonderful pier we have today, and it became very popular. The people loved going down the pier. They had a promenade deck, which joined the pier buildings, and people went up there to watch the Clyde traffic, which was very busy, and also to promenade on it. They actually sold tickets, and the pier centre part has been restored very recently at a cost of £2.83 million, and the other two parts of the pier will hopefully be really renewed in not too distant future. The pier itself is a Category A listed building, which in Scotland is of course the top priority, and it is really the best example of a wooden working Victorian pier in existence, and that's not just in Scotland. I believe that applies nationally. The amount of visitors in Dunoon in earlier days was really almost beyond comprehension to people today, because in an average July-August day, over 100 boats would come in to the pier, and on a busy weekend there'd be 30 to 40,000 people each weekend. And of course this provided the necessity for people to have holiday accommodation, and the Dunoon people availed themselves of this opportunity, and what they did was they actually moved out of the main part of their house and stayed in temporary accommodation to let their places, let their either establishments to visiting people. And I have created a database of all these hotels and boarding houses, and I have reached 462 such establishments. So that just gives you an indication of just how busy Dunoon was. West Bay, which we've already referred to, they had around about 20 different boating stages where people in the summertime hired out boats, rowing boats and motorboats, and there would be over 100 boats ready for hire every day. This included the provision of deck chairs and of course all the ice cream ladies and premises that would have to satisfy the needs of the many visitors. That okay?
Absolutely. Listen, thanks so much.
You can probably doctor it or something.
No need. John, thank you so much. And
it was a really busy place.
People will be really interested in this. Absolutely exquisitely beautiful as well for a setting, isn't it?
It's really good.
Let's have a quick last look round here over the bay.
Yeah, just one other thing. I used to travel daily across the water for 22 years, and never once was I failed to be impressed with the approach to Dunoon, with its Victorian pier, these lovely ornamental gardens, the church, the castle house and the hills beyond, and I firmly believe that it is probably the best approach to any town in Britain, and I really do believe that. Yeah.
Fine note to end on.
Yes.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Best wishes. Bye.